Hello, Samson here. So today's book review dealing with a collection again. So this one is from Gas Life, titled Smart People. So it's basically broken down into 9 lessons, which I'm going to go through very quickly so that we could just get the gist of whatever the authors were talking about. These are practical life lessons which I basically got from the book. So diving right into Smart People. The first lesson that we get from the book has to do with never stop learning things. So there is this art of learning things on a constant basis. Some of the things which we could learn when it comes to things, these are skills that you might need to develop for your constant survival on a daily basis. So the book says that brilliant minds are minds which are actually on the verge of consistent learning on a daily basis. So in order for you to stay up to date and to stay up and informed, looking at the fast-paced world that we're living in, the fact that technology is growing at a very faster rate, for us to be able to keep up and all, what we basically need on a constant basis and on a daily basis is the fact that we need to cultivate the habit of learning things on a daily basis. So it's crucial rather to learn, because we're living in a fast-paced world. And not only that, but in order to stay up with the trends that are going, it might be in business and in any other aspect of our lives. So brilliant people, smart minds, are minds which are consistently learning new things and developing new skills. Lesson number 2 from the book is you need to exercise your brain on a daily basis. So exercising your brain and brain training is essential, basically for decision making, and then you also need it for life skills and survival. Creativity comes from the fact that you're able to exercise your brain on a constant basis. So brain exercise improves your concentration, your prowess, your focus, and then it also has got a component of making sure that you're able to reason very well. So your reasoning abilities go up exponentially. And then your cognitive aging is actually blocked by the fact that your brain is constantly exercised. So then how do you get to exercise your brain? So your brain is only exercised by having your mental faculties worked around. That is where you're engaging into stuff that has to do with your reasoning, thinking creatively, and all those different methods rather that you could use in order to exercise your brain. Lesson number 3 is transferring of knowledge. So when it comes to the transferring of knowledge by reading, what the authors say is the fact that you could get decades or centuries worth of data, of knowledge and information in a matter of hours or minutes rather of reading. So separating like 30 minutes to an hour on a daily basis dedicated to reading actually has got a way of transferring ancient knowledge into your present now, where you're able to look at whatever happened in the past just from book reading and all that. So reading helps you improve your intellectual faculties, your mental cognition and all those, simply because your mind gets stimulated as you're reading, and then you're able to reason, debate and argue with the authors and all that. In lesson number 4, what we're dealing with is basically getting enough quality sleep. So there are these arguments that are brought up where it's 6 to 8 hours of sleep, where it's 7 to 9 hours of rest. So what matters so much is the quality of your sleep, not so much of the quantity that you get. The quantity is important, but the quality is very vital. So what getting enough sleep is going to help you with is basically going to give you is going to help your memory become sharp, and then you're able to retain things, you're able to focus when you're working and all that, because you would have had enough rest at the end of the day. Lesson number 5, what we're dealing with is you need to learn how to play a musical instrument. So musical instruments have got a way of helping us communicate from various cultures. So I can be able to play a melody from an instrument, for example, in a song that's got a language that I do not even know, but then from the rhythm that's played there, you're able to get the whole gist of whatever is happening. So musical instruments have got a way of helping us express the art that lies inside of us, the creativity that lies inside of us, and then the emotions as well, the emotional aspect of whatever lies inside of us. By playing musical instruments and learning to play musical instrument, you get to have that touch with nature and then connecting with people in different cultures. Lesson number 6, we're dealing with doing physical exercises on a regular basis. So this is so that you can just be able to breathe well in order to live well. The circulation of blood in the body and then the need for oxygen to be able to run in the body throughout. What is needed for us is actually regularly exercising. When you exercise on a constant basis, what that is going to do is your blood flow is going to be stimulated, and then you should be able to breathe well. So you breathe well in order to live well at the end of the day. Lesson number 7, what you're dealing with is you need to push yourself to become more productive on a daily basis. So stretching towards productivity is what each and every one of us basically wants on a daily basis. But how do you get to be productive in every aspect that you have to do? If it is something that is work related, what you want to do is not put in a lot of hours doing one and the same thing, but then you put in a lot of productivity in order to get the results that you want in even less hours than you might want to get the work done. So you need to understand your mindset, you need to understand your environment, and then you also need to understand the workflow in order for you to determine the kind of productivity that you need on a constant basis. So if you've got huge tasks to handle, what you do is you break them down into smaller manageable ones, which is not going to be so tedious for you to work around, and then you should be able to have that productivity. Lesson number 8 is you choosing healthy foods to feast on. So there is a certain book that I read where the author was saying you are what you eat, which is very true, because what you eat actually is what makes you who you are. The body tissues that we have actually making us who we are. The diseases that we suffer from at times are a result of the foods that we eat and all that. It's advisable to eat whole grains and whole foods instead of so much processed foods, and then foods which have got a very long lifespan on the shelf, which are not fresh and all that. So what you want to do is you make sure that your diet is actually going to be able to sustain your life in the long run. You want to eat healthy to avoid the consequences of fast foods and then the processed foods as well. The final lesson number 9, according to Smart People, the book, we're dealing with, you need to learn how to deal with stress and do things which make you happy. At the end of the day, life is short to live in a manner that you're not going to be happy, and then you need to learn how to manage and handle your stress levels to prevent burnouts and to prevent not being productive by doing what you do not love. So learn how to handle stress, and then you also need to do things which make you happy at the end of the day. And then concluding, there is this quote that I came across that's saying, rather than genetics, it's the small habits that we practice on a daily basis that make us who we are. So away from genetics, like I'm able to do this and that is a result of genetics, but when you build small habits into these bigger things which help us become who we are, it is what we become from the smaller habits that we build. So from the 9 lessons of Smart People, till we meet in the next segment, I am checking out.